Assert dominance.
And hi everyone, my name is Stormi the Folf, and today I want to talk about something that's a bit of a rarity in the furry fandom. You see, the fandom is chock full of different characters and personas of all shapes, sizes, and species. And as we all know, the vast majority of these beings are anthropomorphic, which essentially means they walk on two legs, aka bipedal. However, let's say you're designing your persona and you'd prefer your character to be more animal-like and have it walk on all fours. Well, that's certainly not unheard of in the furry fandom. These types of characters are often referred to as feral, aka quadrupeds. So now you have this wonderful quaddy character, but wait, you also want to be a fursuiter. But wait, you can't walk on four legs in a fursuit, or can you? What do? Are you doomed to be fursuitless forever? Anarchy! Chaos! Discord! Discord, I'm howling at the moon. Anyway, well, don't get your fluff in a fritz, because there actually is a way for all you feral friendos out there to be fursuiters. Let's dive into the magical world of quadsuits. I've briefly talked about quadsuits before in an old video of mine about different styles of fursuits, but today I want to go a little more in depth about how they're made, how they're worn, and even a little bit of history about them. Animal costumes like this have actually been around for quite a long time. An early example of what modern day quadsuits are modeled like is something that's been used in theater and film called a pantomime horse. And while these costumes have been around since the time of ancient Greek and Roman theater, the comedic two-person horse suit that we're all familiar with was first introduced in the late 19th century. These suits had to be worn by two people, one person acting as the head and the other acting as the tail. With the way the suit was designed, it gave the appearance of an actual horse. Suits like these are still used today in the world of theater. I also pinged my Twitter followers for examples of quadsuits, and well, because they're rarer than hen's teeth, I could only locate a few, but what I did find was hecking amazing. Like this beautiful border collie dog suit by Beast Cub Creations. This quadsuit is quite the technical marvel in that it has blinking eyes. Beast Cub opted for a less than realistic approach as there were concerns that it may cause an uncanny valley effect. So this big doggo has plushy paws and larger than usual eyes. With the eye paint by Stuffed Panda Studios, claws by Dream Vision Creations, and timed servos by Green Dragon, which power the eyes, this quaddie is one very animated cattle canine. Most of the quad suits I was able to locate are on the side of semi to hyper realistic, and or they were made by Beast Cub Creations. Seriously, there only seems to be a few quad suit makers out there, with Beast Cub basically taking the lead. Additionally, I was able to find one toony quad suit, a Toothless to Dragon fursuit by Dream Vision Creations. Like, where are the quad suits? Why can't I find that many? I mean, I was able to find a few, but most of them go back 10 years ago, and Beast Cub makes a lot of amazing quad suits, but I can't really find any other makers that are in the field, so we gotta fix that. So you've seen the quad suits, and now you may be wondering, how are they made? Well, for the most part, making a quad suit has most of the basic components of making a regular fursuit, just with some added modifications. The first thing you'll need to do after commissioning a quad suit is make a duct tape dummy. With a typical DTD, you'll stand up straight with your arms out, kind of like you're T-posing.
Assert dominance.
Must assert dominance. However, to make a quadsuit DTD, you'll need to be in the position that you'll be wearing the suit in. Basically, you'll need to be bent at the waist and have your arms and legs straight down below you. Kinda like pretending you're a table. You may need to be prepared to send the suit maker other necessities in order to make your suit, such as a pair of shoes or a helmet, much like the typical steps required to make most fursuits. And once that is completed and sent to the maker, the work on the suit can begin. Most of the bodysuit is made like a regular fursuit, utilizing the duct tape dummy to properly sew the fur patterns together. However, some additional padding will likely have to be added to the suit to give it a more true-to-life shape. This padding is commonly made with upholstery foam though other materials may be substituted. Along with this padding, a good amount of additional skeletal structures will need to be added to the suit. Since you'll have to be in a bent over position, your arms are not going to reach the ground. And because of this, you will need specially made arm stilts for the suit in order for the forelegs to extend to the floor. They sort of look like crutches. In addition to that, not all quad suits will have a short neck. Depending on the species or the character the suit is depicting, it may need to have a neck extension structure, such as in the case of Sniper the Duchy. These additional structures can usually be made with PVC pipe or wood. Quad suits are usually, but not always, made to be hyper-realistic, so they are often given markings via airbrushing. And depending on what animal the suit is being made about, the airbrushing can be quite extensive and time-consuming, but it will definitely give the suit a beautiful, lifelike appearance. So these suits seem pretty intricate, right? How in the world are they worn? Well, as it turns out, putting one on isn't quite as difficult as it may seem, though it might be a good idea to have a spotter with you when putting it on.
Post-edit Stormi here, and unfortunately I messed up on this part. So while it is possible to put on a quad suit by yourself, I wouldn't recommend it if you're brand new to the process because your vision may be quite limited and it can also put a fair amount of strain on your wrists. Rozzy Kitty did a terrific video showing the process of how to put on a quad suit, although these directions may differ with other makers. Just something to keep in mind. I'll include a link to the video up above.
With how quad suits are usually shaped, you might end up wearing the head kinda like a hat. Quadsuit heads with extended necks will sometimes utilize helmets to build the rest of the head off of, which in turn will place the vision at the lower neck or upper chest area rather than the eyes. In my fursuit styles video, I mentioned that a basic quadsuit could start somewhere around $6,000. Some of you may wonder, why the heck are they so expensive? Well, the long and short of it is that quadsuits are much more labor intensive to build than regular fursuits. There's a lot of extra infrastructure that needs to be put into the suit itself, which means a lot more materials will be needed, which of course will raise the price. Quad suits also take a rather long time to construct, sometimes upwards to 7 months or even a year or longer. If you combine the cost of materials and labor for structure building, furring, airbrushing, etc., $6,000 isn't really a far-fetched price. Suit makers have bills to pay, but that is also like 3 of my cars put together. Yeah, I have an old car. But $6,000 itself also really isn't unheard of for certain plantigrade and digigrade suits. That's not including the fact you need a spotter, increased stamina, and a lot of flexibility to walk in one. When you add all that together, it's no wonder that quad suits are so few and far between in the community. They're rarer than protogen suits. And while the price of a quad suit may seem really intimidating, you will for sure get a beautifully stunning and extremely rare type of creation. I've seen a few quad suits at cons and they are always, and I mean always, the center of attention. There's just something about the uniqueness and beauty of quad suits that really captures the imagination of anyone who sees one. They definitely are a beautiful example of fursuit engineering, and I'd love to see more of these four-footed beings in the future. But that's all the time I have for today. If you know of any quad suits or makers I should have mentioned, please let me know down in the comments below. Because seriously, I couldn't find that many. I would love to talk more about them in the future, maybe do a compilation of some sort. If I could just find more to talk about. But seriously, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, maybe subscribe, and share it with your other furry friendos. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!
Thank you, Shonda, for writing 90% of this script. And a shout out goes out to Kevin the Human, who just joined my Patreon last month. Thanks a lot, Kevin. If you want to join this lovely potato crew for perks like my Discord server, early access to vids, random sneak peeks, and more, consider supporting me on my Patreon.